Hi, I'm Jack Dorsey, and here are 3 plays from the 2021 College of DuPage football season that had me absolutely speechless. For those who don't know me, I'm a very emotional and loud player. If I'm on the field and a teammate scores, I'm running to meet him in the end zone. If I'm off the field, I'm running down the sideline. That's just who I am. I get excited, and I don't hold back, for better or for worse. Like this play. The second time we played Hocking Community College, they said some choice words about my girlfriend, and our head coach, Coach Ron, got mad at me for waving and taunting our opponents. I didn't know it at the time, but I wasn't the only one. As a matter of fact, the other person waving right behind me was Jared Park. Jared and I go way back. We both played at the same high school, Glenbard West. I graduated a year before him and went to play at a school in 2018, and I planned to return in 2019 but left before the season started in the fall. I shortly after joined College of DuPage in the spring for the soon-to-be-canceled 2020 season. Luckily, I waited it out through 2021. Because when Jared graduated in 2019, he went to walk on, and I might be wrong here, at Arizona State, only to transfer to Colorado State in the winter of 2020. But going into summer of 2020, he came back home to DuPage, and suddenly we were reunited again. But back to Hocking. No, the other hockey game, the first one. Actually, go back one more week. Oh man, Iowa Central. The biggest beatdown I've ever been on the losing end of. We were undisciplined, had a huge ego, and not put together yet. No joke, we sucked at the time. And a good amount of it was rust. Before the week prior, at the start of the season, it had been 1,027 days since the last time I even dressed for a game at my first college. Add another 365 days since the last time I actually got on the field. After basically transferring and sitting out, then waiting through COVID, do you know how hard of a wait that was? Then to come out and play like absolute garbage? It really rubbed me the wrong way. Anyways, about Jared, at the time he was 4th on the depth chart and was about to be put in for 1 or 2 drives at the end of the beatdown, but the head coach decided it wouldn't be a good idea, so we had to wait another week, which also rubbed him the wrong way. Okay, finally, the first Hocking game. We were concerned, not like they were even near Iowa Central skill level, who was not only the division above us, but also ranked in the top 5 for a good amount of the season. But we just got the snot beat out of us and felt pathetic. Not to mention, we were struggling against the practice squad defense, and we really needed something to boost our confidence. So what does the future Coach of the Year do?
Ain't no way, baby! Ain't no way! Let's go!
Not only are these jerseys absolutely gorgeous, but the way the coaching staff revealed the uniforms to us was incredible. Everyone was hyped. I think I lost my voice because of all the screaming. And for the sake of symbolism, they looked just like the uniforms Jared and I wore in high school.
Hey, Malik got a jersey! Malik got a jersey!
Prior to the game, Jared was sitting at second string on the depth chart. He wouldn't get his chance to play until after halftime. During halftime, we were livid. Just like the last 2 games, we had a lot of self-inflicted errors holding us back on offense, which is why Hocking was up 10-0. To the man who has idolized Tom Brady since birth, enters stage left, Jared Park. It took everyone a bit to find their groove, but following some great blocking by the line and chase, Jared hands the ball to the NJCAA Division III Player of the Year, Daryl Smith, who houses it, and just like that, we're back in the game.
Off to Williams. Oh, breaking free is Smith, and Smith may not be caught. Touchdown, DuPage.
In the fourth quarter, we still hadn't quite clicked. A few 3-and-outs from each side. It was more of a case of our defense is clearly the best in the nation, and our offense wasn't playing together yet. Until Chase Mendoza got the ball on a punt return, with less than 5 minutes in the fourth quarter, with the help of a penalty, he got us within striking distance at the 25-yard line. This is the only time of the game we took snaps near Hocking's end zone, and the stakes are high. The whole sideline knows we should be beating them down. The stats show a beatdown, but we kept making small mistakes. Bad snaps, missed blocks. We all made mistakes at the worst possible time. So it's 3rd and 4. I remember in the moment, I didn't think we were going to get to the sticks. Let's face it, it's a pass play, and we don't have the numbers to block all the pressure they're going to bring. They've been doing it all day, and it was our kryptonite. We struggled big time against the blitz. So Jared takes a snap. The problem is, it's on the ground. To make things worse, everyone and their mother are chasing that ball. Tavion Porter, and don't worry Tay, I'll make you look better later, tries to pick it up, but he doesn't fully commit, and kind of gives up on the play. In doing so, luckily, he gets in the way of the two nearest defenders. So now Jared has it, right? I already think the play is over. Tommy Tree did so too. Now, Jared's a good athlete and all, but if I had to choose from all four of our quarterbacks based on mobility, he's not my first choice. He knows his strengths. He's a great pocket passer, but not someone you would think to have an electric run. I mean, look at this image. It's not looking good. But this is Jared Park we're talking about. This is his moment. And you're stupid if you think he'll screw it up. Through some miracle, everyone over pursues, and the man in the arena escapes. He makes it all the way to the 15 until he has to make a decision. He has to make someone miss while he's being chased. He's got a good block down the sideline, but he still has to make 23 miss. He can't slow down because 38 is already swiping for the ball. Logically speaking, there's no way Jared is athletic enough to score here.
Hey, Al.
Somehow.
You ready?
Some way.
Let's do it.
One-on-one, tackle miss, touchdown, what a night!
Everyone loses their mind in a state of, how did this happen? And finally, we have the lead. Except me, who's already speechless. You can see where I realized somehow Jared made the play work. As the sideline erupts and the players on the field chase down my old high school teammate, I observe the crowd, take it in, and then I go join them in what can only be described as one of my favorite football moments ever. December 4th, the national championship game. We are playing Nassau Community College for the second time, but of course, let's rewind and give you the full story first. We had one game at a bye week after the first time we played Hocking before the first time we played Nassau back in October on the 16th. At the time in the season, they were ranked first and we had a bye week and we dropped from second to third for whatever reason. The trip there was memorable for a few reasons. I mean, we had a lot of Chick-fil-A and we stayed at Penn State halfway there for the night. That was cool. I mean, I can go on. The sunset was nice when we got to New York and the bus.
We just grabbed this motherfucker!
He hit a tunnel.
Here we go, round two. You can make it. Go straight. Go straight. Hey, Tomas.
The driver had some issues. Don't get me started on all the wrong turns he took to add time to our trip. The cop pulling us over.
He did not.
Then on the way back home after the game, he gave up. Dude said, no, I'm not doing this anymore after pulling over in a cow farm in the middle of Pennsylvania. For no reason at all, dude was not having it anymore, and we had to find a new bus driver. I mean, the drive home was supposed to be 14 hours straight through from New York to Chicago. The defensive bus got home on time, no issues at all. But the offensive bus? 22 hours. 22 hours. I did not pack medication for another day because I wasn't anticipating it, but I lost my mind in the last 2 or 3 hours of the trip. I have hardly any memory of it other than not being okay at all. But I'm getting sidetracked, and that whole story should be another video. After that incident, we never had any bus issues at all whatsoever. Anyways, back to the game.
I couldn't get away.
It was very windy, and we still weren't put together on offense, despite blowing out our last opponent. Luckily, our special teams were put together, and Tavion Porter is a magician.
Blazer, can he get there?
We came out firing and scored quickly, but that didn't last very long. We still had one person making a mistake on offense that would ruin the play. And the win was a factor which led to missed field goals from both teams. After halftime, it was basically deja vu, except this time on offense. Tavion Porter did it again, following an absolute war crime of a block from our guard Kerry Reynolds and a pancake from me, and Matt Brown just getting enough of his guy, and you're not gonna catch him again!
Watch out! Stutter step, hits the 20 hard, touchdown, he did it
Now back to the main story. We'll finish up that game later. December 4th, the national championship game. I got an injury in practice a few weeks prior and wasn't able to run full speed since. Our offensive coordinator, Coach Furco, knew this, and he adjusted my role in the game plan accordingly, so I was mostly just going to block. Not like I went out for a pass often, but it was essentially out of the question, which bothered me because I have never scored a touchdown in a game. Never. Not in high school either. I actually never caught a pass in high school. My first pass caught in-game ever was on 4th and 8, which I ran for a first down earlier that year, which resulted in a nasty bone bruise, taking me out for the game. Long story short, I wasn't in any of the passing plays in the game plan. I was only blocking this week. Jared knew I never scored in high school, and a few times during the season, before a game, he'd say, "Got a good feeling about this one, Dorse." I got excited when he did, but I knew he was just trying to get me hyped up a bit. So when he said it again for this game the Thursday before, I knew he was just trying to get me excited. I remember telling him, "I'm not even in the game plan for any passing plays." He then said, "I don't know, man. I feel different about this week." Yeah, okay. Well, the next day on Friday, in our last walkthrough, in the last 5 minutes, we installed 2 plays in our goal line package. One of them can only be described as,
He's going to take it. Look at this. He's going to throw.
I was excited for that play for 2 reasons. I figured if I was going to ever get a touchdown, it would be on that play, and it would be absolutely hilarious. The other play that we installed was a play-action play that I didn't think would ever work or get called. We ended up running 6 plays out of the goal line package that game, and sadly, none of them worth a jump pass. Remember how I mentioned in our first game against Nassau, our special teams were put together?
It's blocked. Coming through, picking it off. Not able to pick it up, but they'll get the football. Coming through.
Vince Brown changed the game with a blocked punt and nearly scored off of it. A few plays later, we called in the goal line package. Brooks threw a fade to Vince to try to get him the touchdown he deserves, but they couldn't connect. After a penalty, we had the ball on the 5-yard line, and I thought the jump pass was coming. I was mistaken. It was the other play. My job was pretty simple. I was going to block this guy for a little bit and then leak out into the flat as a check down. Suddenly, I'm wide open, and our quarterback, Brooks Blunt, starts to throw. But this isn't the first time he wanted to throw to me. Back in week 2 against Iowa Central, we had another play-action play off of our goal line package where I was wide open, and I mean wide open walking to the end zone. Sure, it was garbage time, but it would have been cool to finally score. But my luck would have it. They brought pressure, and Brooks ran out of time, and he made the right decision and threw it away. There would have been other occasions where the play was designed to go to me, but it didn't work out because of a missed blocking assignment, too much of a pass rush, me being out of position, or just in week 1, I wrote the wrong play number one time. Just my luck. So, with all that disappointment behind us, back to the national championship game. The kid with the worst luck and the worst timing in the world in getting the ball essentially has a play designed to him to get a touchdown in the biggest day of his life, the biggest game of his life. The play starts and the line carries out a great fake, and the entire defense buys it. As for the other receivers who are already in the end zone, Chase Mendoza and Vince Brown are both pretty open, but it's a pretty awkward throwing angle. And I didn't do the first part of my job that well, which means that Brooks has someone in his face, and he needs to get rid of it. I'm his safest option, and he's run out of time to make a decision. As a matter of fact, I'm his only option. And just my luck, I caught it. As I turn, and I very vividly remember this,
Makes the handoff. Pressure.
I
Throws.
smile, and my heart drops.
To the tight end. Touchdown, Dupay. Throws to the outside. There it is, his first touchdown.
And boy, did he earn it. Watch him catch it in the flat and then dives for the end zone to ensure he gets in.
When I hit the ground, it felt like the entire world was lifted off of my shoulders. I was speechless. Being a primarily blocking tight end for most of my career has made it way more difficult to get the ball, let alone score a touchdown. Despite all of the work I put towards receiving, I just kept screwing up one way or another, but not this time. After the PAT, I jogged to the sidelines to meet a team that was split on whether or not to be excited for the imposing lead we had just made, or for me finally getting the touchdown they knew I deserved. I wish there was more video of me on the sideline after I scored, because it would do me way more justice than me adding some corny music and audio clips from NFL games. I knew that the game wasn't over, so I tried to limit my excitement, but I couldn't hold it in. I made sure to keep my helmet on because I was crying for about a minute or so. And of course, looking back on the TV broadcast, it makes me feel even better looking at everyone's live reaction, but one person stands out from the rest. Or should I say jumps higher than the rest. Now for the last play. Play number 3. We had a 21-0 lead in the national championship game after my touchdown. They changed their quarterback and we started to make mistakes again. We let up a touchdown, but that's okay because our special teams, like our defense, is the best in the nation.
Watch out! He's got getting away from the top speed. Touchdown!
After that, our offense started to have some issues. They started to gain momentum and it kept snowballing.
Touchdown! Teachy! Again, watch it just come out of his hand here. Just slips out.
And it didn't stop snowballing.
Makes a move. Ducks down. Can he sneak in? He's in. Touchdown.
Next thing you know, our 21-point lead is now down to 2 points with 1 minute left in the game. NASA has the ball on our 13-yard line and could take the lead here with a field goal, but they obviously want a touchdown. The receiver at the top of the screen has a fade route, and the quarterback isn't even considering throwing it elsewhere. One of our best defensive players, Denarius Shaw, who we call Nutter, will cover him. One-on-one in man coverage and an underthrown ball, you better believe!
No!
As the ball hit the turf, I dropped my helmet in shock and was left absolutely
5 on field
speechless.
goals. 1 for 5 to take the lead and a possible national championship. It is up. It is good.
We've been in this situation before, ironically against Nassau back in October. We were down 15-17 with 2:48 left, I think. We had 2 timeouts, so there wasn't that much of a hurry, except that we were still struggling on offense. Soon it becomes 4th down, but Miles McCaffrey has great hands, so we convert. The next play, receiver Matt Brown catches a slant, and it's about 2nd and 4, with the clock rolling and we're out of timeouts, so Coach Furco calls a fake spike play.
No!
Brooks had a miscue at the worst time. The ball would have gone to Miles, and it would have been perfect. There was no safety anywhere near him, the DB was completely flat-footed, and nobody rushed the quarterback. Brooks did not cost us the game, but that play definitely hurt us. We managed to get another 1st down before failing to convert later on, leaving us frustrated, mad, and wanting revenge. Nassau squibbed the kick because they're scared of our special teams, so we start at our own 44. After failing, it's not often you get a second chance at redemption with the stakes twice as high. If you're ever lucky enough to be in that position, only past experiences and God can help you. At the snap of the first play of the drive, the pocket closes quickly and Brooks takes off into a void. He gains about 6 yards before getting absolutely rocked while he was trying to slide. Flag was thrown immediately, but the dude was celebrating the dirty hit, which Mike Gatz took offense to and almost got a flag called on himself. Now instead of being near midfield, we're at Nassau's 33. 2 receivers on each side, Darrell at running back, offset to the right of Brooks. The Lions look like they're going to bring the house on a blitz. Instead, one linebacker drops back into coverage. Brooks throws to the Lazuric Eatman, who's being guarded by a safety about 8 yards off. The safety breaks on the ball and times his hit perfectly, flipping Laz. The sideline and fans were livid at the no flag, me included. It was a blatant helmet-to-helmet hit. You slow it down, you can see Laz's head jolt first. Not only that, but it was the back of his head, which, forget the penalty, is extremely dangerous. No flag this time. 2nd and 10, same formation, same blitz. It's man coverage and a linebacker in the middle, so in theory it's just 6 on 6. The O-line plus Darrell, versus 3 down defensive linemen, 2 linebackers, and a safety. From the pre-snap, it looks like they're bringing more pressure off the left side, so the line slides that way. However, one of the linebackers from the left drops back into coverage, so one person isn't blocking anybody one-on-one. Our left tackle Lolo stops the blitz without any issue. Carey picks up the end, and since his slide was left, Mike Gatz is helping him out. Brendan Lemcool, who actually predicted that I score in the national championship game back in September of 2020, fun fact, is one-on-one with the tackle and forms a brick wall with Rob. Rob got the nickname Robbie Cheddar, which I'm not sure is a joke about him having a hard time blocking at the beginning of the season, or was just given to him because it's funny. Anyways, Rob was one-on-one with their best pass rusher and locks him up easily, and Daryl does his job well too and stops the linebacker dead in his tracks. From the wide angle, you can see the concept we ran. It is a simple pick route concept on both sides. On the left, Miles is outside and Laz is in the slot. They have a switch stop combo. Our rule with the switch stop concept is if you have enough room off the pick to keep running and Laz decides that he's better off going straight, while Miles boxes out his defender. On the right side, Matt Brown is out wide and Chase Mendoza is in the slot. They just have a vert switch called, no stop route for either of them, it's all or nothing. As the play progresses, Brooks could have thrown the ball back shoulder to Laz, but he wants the matchup on the right side and a touchdown. But there's a problem. Remember how I said someone isn't blocking a defender because the way the line slid its protection? Well, on Daryl's side, they brought an extra safety. So now there's one player unblocked, with a clear path to Brooks, running full speed, wanting to rip the ball and the heart out of the team. And Brooks hasn't even started his throwing motion. There's no way he can logically throw an accurate pass without more time. If we go back to the tight angle, you see the safety has a clear path to Brooks and nobody to stop him. But Daryl sees him coming. His instincts kick in, he bounces off the linebacker, and he dives at the safety, burying him 6 feet under, buying Brooks an extra half second, buying Matt Brown an extra half second to get 3 steps ahead of his defender. And all that Brooks has to do is
Touchdown! Touchdown, Chaparral! Over the top to Matthew Brown!
the silent assassin causes an eruption on the sideline and the stands. And here I am, frozen in time, unable to move or think, just watching. Ethan Trim jumps on me, but I don't even react. I looked like I lost my balance standing there. It was surreal. Nassau had a few seconds left and didn't go anywhere with the ball. The quarterback sent the ball downfield as a desperation heave as time expired. He was past the line of scrimmage and Nick Wade picked it off, so it doesn't even matter. They stormed the field. Basically everyone. I didn't. I knelt at our own 25 in tears, knowing that I had finally accomplished something in my life, and nobody could tell me otherwise. Tell us otherwise. The only season I can look back on as of now, saying without a doubt, I was valuable, and I contributed, and we succeeded. And don't worry, there will be more, but for now, I just wanted to stay here, on the sideline, feel it, enjoy it. We earned it. What's even cooler is that I got interviewed after the game. That's never happened before, won't be the last time either, but in that moment, in these moments, I realized that you aren't defined by your success or your failures. What defines you is what you do in between. Sure, you get the label of winner or loser, starter or practice squad player, but that's not who you are. For example, I almost gave up on my life multiple times, and I finally realized I can't keep living like this after hitting an all-time low in 2019. I shortly after left my first school. I then took control of my life. I expected to have a season in 2020 at COD, but COVID happened and I learned to be patient and to trust that things will work out. During the season, I learned not to have an ego. It doesn't matter how good you think you are, you probably aren't that good. And when I was kicked down, I showed resilience and determination to get to the level that I thought I was at. And in the end, I earned the title of champion. The exact same thing could be said about the team as a whole. The ego we had in the beginning, the resilience and the determination we had in rebuilding after we got our ass whooped by Iowa Central. And then coming together and playing as a team after the first Nassau game. Even if we ended up losing the game, we were never defined by our wins or losses. We were defined by our overcomings to struggles, to adversity, and other shortcomings we had. And together we earned the title of champions, and I wouldn't have done it with anyone else in this world. Thank you so very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I had a lot of fun making the video, and it turned out way better than I could have ever imagined. That being said, I'm gonna end the video here. Not because I'm speechless, but I've just run out of words to say.
Rolling stones of the rap game, not bragging. Lips bigger than Jagger, not sagging. Spell it backwards, I'ma leave it at that. That ain't got nothing to do with rap. Check the facts, expose those cats who pose as heroes, take advantage of blacks. The government's gangsters, so cut the crap. A war going